Hi, it's Gadget UK here again. An expensive pickup here actually for me. This was a Christmas present to myself about 2 years ago. It's come from Tim Helwig there, so it's come from the NGDEVTEAM. So yeah, we'll be having a look at hopefully a couple of games from NGDev. So I've got the box open here, let's have a look. I'm interested to see what the packing's like and stuff for these games, because yeah, it's not too bad. I've been a bit of brown paper, got some bubble wrap. Yeah, they do a big box shipping option for the NGDEVTEAM, so yeah, I guess that's to protect the games a little bit better. But oh yeah, I'm super excited here. We've got two, both games have arrived. So this is the first one, Last Hope. As you can see, this is the MVS version. In a nice brown box. Just point you down a bit. Yeah, they're not easy to open these because you can see they're recessed there. So you've got to sort of just pull them out to the side a little bit in order to get them open. See, nice pink bubble wrap there. Sweet. Look at that. Fantastic. Yeah. Very nice. Four, 6, 7, 3. Lovely. Very nice. Fantastic. Gunlord MVS. And that one's 4669.
So I thought we'd have a quick look at Last Hope here, and then we'll follow up with a quick look at Gunlord as well. It's important to note I've been playing this for about a week now, so I've got quite good at it. So my first impressions, actually, I was kind of just a bit disappointed the first day when I played this, just because of the cost. You know, it is expensive, and I think hopefully my views here might sort of echo true on the with regards to the Dreamcast version as well, because the Dreamcast version is pretty much identical. There's just some subtle differences, I think. I think one of the main things I've noticed from looking at the Dreamcast version, I think there's different skill levels. You can play like Devil mode, which is the hardest sort of difficulty. Now that might be replicated here in hard. I don't know, they might just change the terminology there of the difficulty levels, but I'll let you watch the intro here. This is pretty impressive.
Barely 24 hours ago, they penetrated the last defense line of our galaxy, the Arsian laser belt. Millions of innocent people perished in outer space colonies. 70% of our fleet was destroyed during first contact. Intelligence has now estimated their arrival within 6 days. Conventional weapons cannot stop them. Our last hope is in your hands.
So hopefully it's not going to get masked out by the volume of the TV and you know, my talking here and the controller. I'll try and keep the controller sound down to a minimum if I can. It seems you get most of the score here for using the charge shot. So what I mean by that is you hold down A, a bit like you do an R-type, and you can fire off a charge shot like that. You can see the bar at the bottom fills up to represent how much charge you've got. But you can also use the D button there to fire that green blob. You can hopefully see those little green balls. So you can use the two. I tend to hold the charge shot down all the time. Shit, there's one's behind me. And you'll see you can move the force thing around you like you can in Last Resort. So you know, this is sort of paying homage to Last Resort. There's certainly a lot of influence from that game got into this game, but also R-Type as well. It's very similar in places, and you'll see what I mean when we get to the end of this first level here. You see I took a hit there and it made me flicker. I think because I'm playing easy difficulty, I think it's a bit more forgiving. You can take a hit as long as you don't get hit again. That was a collectible there, so let's like that. Yeah, it's more forgiving in this difficulty. You can take sort of 2 hits before you explode, as long as it's not like a direct impact. Yeah, I've got pretty good at this, so hopefully I might be able to get through the first few levels without losing the credit, hopefully. You can see how holding down the D button to use that green fire there is beneficial, because you just get constant cluster bombs. Well, if you've got cluster bombs as I have, just constantly, which really does actually help. You can see this is kind of R-Type inspired, that part there, and as you'll see, the end of level boss is certainly heavily, inspired by R-Type. And these snakes, I guess you've seen them in the games as well, like salamander and stuff. So they've got a different weapon there, carbon missiles, they're just like missiles that fire out. So you'll see here, this is almost like a direct rip of R-Type in my mind. You can see this, even though I'm playing on easy, it's really easy. As you can see, I beat that boss really easily there. Didn't take long really to be able to master the first level, pretty easy. The second levels, it does crank up sort of gradually in terms of difficulty between levels 1 and 2. So this level is not massively harder, although those octopus things at the bottom are just damn near impossible. Haven't really developed a technique to be able to take those down yet. Cluster bombs are better, I think, in my mind, on this level. In fact, most of the game cluster bombs are better, apart from for some of the end of level bosses. See, it's not quite a bullet hell shooter, but it does get like that in places. And I do know that if you crank the difficulty up, it kind of does turn into a bullet hell shooter pretty quick. Actually, you've got to be pretty fast and good reflexes. But I'm just getting used to easy at the moment. See, I took a hit there. If that was on any of the difficulty, I would have just died instantly. So give it a few seconds and a recharge, and I'm alright. So we're coming up to level 2 and the level boss in a minute, I think. It's not that far, I don't think. You can see this part here, this is totally inspired from Last Resort, the way they teleport in there. That's just straight out of Last Resort, sure. And then again, some more here, I think. Not as many as you get in Last Resort, but that's where the ideas come from. I mean, it's a hard thing, it's a hard thing with these games, because they're always going to be very similar. They're all take inspiration from each other. It's hard to say that the game's not original just because it's taken some ideas from the games. There's lots of originality in here, and that's one of the things I read about this game a lot. Is people say, it's just a rip-off. It's just a copy of. See, here you go, Last Resort again. A copy of other games, and all games like that. It's like everything in life is like that. Everything, really, everything's based on something. So here's the end of the boss. Again, this is a pretty easy boss actually. He says, probably die in a minute. There we go. Not too bad. Not sure what the extends are. Or items. I think the items are the things you collect when you use the beam, the charge shot. Because when you do the charge shot, as you see, you get those little items. I think those are items that I just collected. Now this is where difficulty cranks up considerably. This level, I will be amazed if I get off the first part here, because this is it is rock solid. It really is. The difficulty cranks up significantly between level 2 and this level 3 here. It took me quite a while to get used to this level, and there are parts of this level, as you'll see in a minute, that are very hard. They're incredibly hard. Good God, I've got that blue thing after me. But as you can hear, the music is absolutely awesome. It's phenomenal. It's worth the money, in my mind, just the music. Seriously. This bit's hard because these little pink ships from behind, as you can see, just hard. You've got to use the force there. That little probe thing, swing it around you the right way, and just hope for the best. I'm going to die here, I think. Oh, I don't know how I didn't die on that bit, seriously. I need to swing it around that way, because I think some come from the front. So it's like a lot of these games where you have to memorise the routes. If you memorise where the enemies are going to come from, it just makes it so much easier. So coming back to my first impressions, as I mentioned earlier, I wasn't that impressed. I think the second day it started to really grow on me. By the time I played it for about 3 days, yeah, it's brilliant. I think it's an absolutely brilliant game. My only comment really, there's a couple of things, a couple of observations. I would say some of the levels are a bit short. It does feel like a bit of a short game. It could have done with perhaps one more level. This is where it's all going to end, I think. Yeah, pretty hard that bit. I haven't mastered how to get through that bit, really. But we're approaching the end of level boss again here, I think, just a little bit further. This bit can be difficult sometimes. There's a down turrets. Too bad. So I mean, is this game worth getting? If you're a Neo Geo collector, absolutely, it's absolutely fantastic, I think. And in some ways, for me, it's better than Last Resort because it's easier. I know I am playing on easy difficulty, but you try to play Last Resort on easy difficulty, and it's not as easy as this. Certainly by a long shot. There we go. That boss is the easiest one. You can just take that down on this difficulty without even going underneath it. I think if you don't kill it before that little blue pod goes down, you've got to attack it from underneath. This again, reminds me of R-Type. The one thing I'm not happy about on this particular level is these little small ships. Do you see them sort of like give birth to little blue and grey ships? There's one there coming out of the water, and they're just so small and annoying. But then again, it's one of these things. When I first saw them, I thought they were a bit pathetic. Why haven't they used larger sprites? It kind of makes sense when you get used to it because it adds that level of difficulty that you've got to avoid the damn things. It just adds a bit of difficulty to this level. Without that, I think it would be a bit too easy. And these things here can be quite hard as well, which again is a good thing on this level because it just makes it that little bit more challenging, and it needs to have that increase in difficulty. I'm going to die here, I think. Good God, I don't know how I did that. Yeah, you can see I've been playing this, and certainly the time I've spent on it is certainly evidenced on this particular playthrough. I don't think I've played this well, actually, generally. There's a chance we might get to the next boss. So coming back to what I was saying, is it worth getting? I would say yes. It's a lot of money, but a lot of the really rare Neo Geo games are expensive anyway. But I think it's worth every penny. I do like this game very much. I think one of the things I would have changed personally if they were doing this again and they wanted input was I can't see what down force now, how's it going? The size, some of the sprites are just a bit small, and the colours used for some things, like the little collectible pods you get that they're just like dark blue with browns on there. They just look a bit meh, a bit really, Just that's the only negative in my mind. Apart from, let's say, some of the levels just a bit short. Other than that, it's a very good game. It's very playable. It's hard not to like it when you've played it for a little bit. Gorgeous music on it as well, really. Awesome music.
As you can see, the shell's a little bit mangled on this one here. It's not perfect. They are sort of forthcoming about that on the website. They do say that these shells may have imperfections and things on them. It's a shame it's on the front, but anyway, it's a minor thing. I've taken the 4 screws out. There's no warranty stickers. Bearing in mind, I'm probably invalidating my warranty, but I'm statically discharged here. Just going to be really careful. Just carefully get the boards out here. Just make sure I don't damage them. There we go. So straight away, that's interesting. You can see we've got a couple of programming headers or something on the tops there, so let's just carefully just put those down. I'll zoom in so you can have a closer look. Yeah, so large CPLD in the middle there, flash ROMs, what look like level shifters around the outside, voltage regulator, nicely manufactured these. Again, the reminiscent of the Neo SD boards. You know, the quality there. It's very good. You can see there's been some solder removed from there. Maybe that's where they programmed it from. Maybe that's where their JTAG goes. Not really sure what these would be for then, really, unless they're maybe for factory testing. Maybe they just plug them into something and it can test the board there. Can you see we've got some crap or something down here? What's that? Bit of dirt on there. So yeah, I'll just clean that up before I put them back together. What else we've got? A Xilinx Spartan up here. Another Xilinx chip there. Surprised how many chips there are on this actually. Let's just carefully flip this over. And obviously it's got the USB connection there where you can, I think you can connect it to a PC. And if you contact the NGDEVTEAM, they can give you a patch, you know, if you've got an older version that needs updating. So I'll just carefully flip this over. Nothing on the underside. So let's just carefully put that down there and have a look at the char-board. Yeah, Giga char-board 1.5 ROM volts. The NGDEV logo there, so 4 large flash ROMs and a ton of level shifters there, voltage regulator, and again nothing on the other side. So yeah, I'll carefully reassemble that now. So again, I'm ESD or ES discharged, electrostatic discharged here. Oh, that board's slipping back in there. I don't want that to happen. Trying to avoid creasing the label here, so yeah, that's the top board. I've got the bottom board out. So yeah, identical I think. It was bound to be. I think they've used the same boards between these two different games here. They probably just ordered a bulk lot of the two boards here. Just noticed that text there as well. Giga Prog board 1.5 particle streamer. So all reassembled there. You can see the front on this one's a lot better, and obviously neither of them have got a crease in from me being in there, and you'd never know I was in there. You would need to go in one of these actually if you're going to use that little USB, you know, this little USB connector on there to program and update. So I can't imagine you would be removing your warranty if you went into one of these just to have a quick look. But yeah, I mean, that was one of the reasons I wanted to just cover this on a video. Save anybody else going inside theirs if they're just curious what they've got. It's going to be the same between the different carts and things. There might be some older versions out there on the initial ones. They might have had a slightly different version board. So I'll have a quick go at Gunlord now. Hopefully you can see that fairly clear. I'll try not to make loads of noise with the controller. Like you watch the intro here, the intro's pretty good. And then the intro when you start the game is quite good as well. And I'm not sure whether you get these entire intros actually on the Dreamcast version. Sweet. Right, let's stick a credit in and hit start. Now I've not played the arcade mode, and I've not played around with joystick settings or anything yet. But yeah, we'll go over into original mode. I'll just show you a little bit of it. I might cut some of it out. The first level is quite large.
Finally, after a dramatic battle, the evil empire was destroyed. The captain of the Z-42 warp zone, Vanessa Gagan, escaped and returned to celebrate her victory. But she never made it home, missing in action to this very day. But out of nowhere, a new evil has burst into the galaxy. A mysterious Gunlord called the Master. The Master can create and control evil beings made of steel. These beings, the Lords of Steel, are evil creatures, terrorizing the galaxy and enslaving humans by absorbing their souls. While our hero Gordon Gagan searches for his newlywed wife Vanessa, he feels an evil presence. The Master. Gordon dons his Gunlord suit, jumps in his planet shuttle, and dives into the atmosphere of planet Kairos 2. What evil creatures and adventures are awaiting him? Will he find Vanessa? Excellent.
So, if you're not aware, it's basically a Turrican clone. is very, very similar actually in so many aspects. You know, you can do the whole rolling round thing to drop bombs like you can on Turrican, multi-directional shooting. And in fact, where you go left there at the start to get those, that free life that I just got, that's you know, identical to Turrican. That's like certainly a nod. And these things as well. I think there's another one somewhere you can climb up in, isn't there? So I've not spent anywhere near as much time on this game as I have Last Hope. I spent a lot of time playing Last Hope. This one, perhaps 2 or 3 hours. I do like this. I prefer the music on this game actually. I think it's very good. So yeah, collect all the collectibles. Yeah, the combat's better than Turrican, I would say. Anybody who says this is just a direct Turrican rip, I would argue that this game is much more fleshed out. And in fact, there's a nice inclusion of a different kind of mode. I think as you get to level 2, you play a bit of a shmup, sort of a horizontal shoot 'em up, which is really good actually. And I wish they'd done more of that throughout the game, but I think it's just that level. I think it's just when you get to level 2. So I'll see if we get to level 2. I'll show you the end level boss and stuff. But it's, you know, it's an exploration game. You've got to explore. Generally, there's not that many places you can sort of go off the standard route, but there are secrets to get and stuff. You need to collect all these little gems. I think you can see the bottom left there. You might just be able to see down here. It says 33 out of 209. I think the nearest I've got is about 204 or 5 that I couldn't find. So that adds a bit of replayability. And there are secrets. I mean, you can stand here, but there are areas like this where you can't get in. You've got to use the thing to roll around stuff, get free lives, find hidden sort of passages and things. So it's really good. Actually, there's one there. Actually, you can't get those unless you roll in there. But they get more difficult to find down there. There is a free life there. I just got it. I'm not sure how you get it though, because you die. There's an example of having to use that roll thing where I think you press B. Yeah, you hold down B to do that. And to fire that beam out, you hold down C. And as you can see at the bottom, there's a little purple bar that indicates how charged up it is. So I think if you over time, it'll just recharge, but also some of the things you collect will charge it back up as well. So you've got to be tactical about when you use that. It's pretty powerful. You can use it for killing most things, but as you can see, once it weakens a bit, its distance is, you know, short, so it doesn't travel as far. There's quite a few different weapon types, like rocket launchers. There's this multi-directional thing. You can hit the D, and it does like a blast there out the sides. Yeah, I'm playing very wobbly. And as you can see top right there, see the little green, if I put the bar over it there, you can see the little 3 green blobs. Yeah, you can get hit 3 times. Oh, I lost another life. Anyway, I'll see if I can just zoom through this. I'll get to the first end level boss, see if I can show you the second level. When you start from a new credit, you just start from where you were at. And that works out really well. I have come across one bug in this game actually. I'll show you 2 bugs. One in that if you say you fall down a hole somewhere out on this level, I think there's a bit where you can fall down a hole and it keeps respawning you with your next fresh life right over the top of the hole. So yeah, you end up losing a whole credit. And there was another bug I spotted as well, which is surprising because I thought this was I think this is the final release. The other bug is where you jump onto a ladder. There's one place, if you get hit when you jump onto the ladder, it puts you on the ladder facing the wrong way. It just doesn't look right, but the game does actually work. So yeah, I guess it's not a big deal. It's just points out that whilst Last Hope I've not found any bugs in, I've found 2 in this so far. But it's very good, you know, presentation-wise, gameplay-wise. It is a very fun game. If you like Turrican, this is an absolute must, really, for either the Dreamcast or the Neo Geo. But between the 2, kind of Last Hope just feels a bit more fun to me. But I do like the music on this, and this has got some great graphics as well some great sounds. And it's fun. As you can see, there's lots of climbing bits like this to do as well. So I mean, there really is nothing else like this on the Neo Geo. It's a one-off, really, I guess, in terms of the type of, the genre, and that's what makes it appealing as well, I guess. Yeah, so you can hear the music's just changed over there. I don't think we're too far off the end of this level now. Yeah, so you got lots of little mini bosses and things like that as you explore around the maps. It's surprising how many different enemy types there are actually. Now there's a bit of this where you've got to jump out. Can you see that? It's just reminiscent of Turrican again. You jump out and then come back in. So it can take a bit of trial and error getting used to that as well, that jumping mechanic if you're not used to it. But yeah, it does feel very Turrican-ish. Yeah, so I think this is where the end of level boss is coming up. Yeah, here we go. So I might beat him, I think. Yeah, there we go. Cool animation now, his death is quite good. So this next bit I quite like. I wish what they'd done, what I think they should have done, is had this next level every other level, so you get a bit of a shoot 'em up through the front bit there, I think. Nice visuals there again. So yeah, very nice. They could almost have made a full game out of this type of mode, really. I mean, well, I guess they did with things like Razion and stuff, but more detailed, isn't it? Razion, there's a lot more got into it. You can tell it's quite basic, this, but it's still good fun. Now, you've got no other buttons or anything on this mode. It's just single, shot effectively, just use to name attack. Oh, crashing into the bloody building, the ship. Yeah, very nice. I like the attention to detail on some of the animations and sprites and things. It looks really good. Nice colour palette as well, I think, on this. They're approaching the boss. Yeah, you can tell I haven't played as much. I wasn't expecting those blasts coming out at all, really. Listen, I have to restart the level there, that was good. So yeah, relatively easy difficulty, but it's good fun. It's a challenge. So yeah, different soundtracks on the different levels, totally different sort of graphics and background style and theme and stuff. It's got a bit of a distinct difference to the feel of each level. I think it's a bit like Last Open. Some of the levels are a bit too short, like that last one we just played there, and some of them are a bit too long. That first level seems to take forever to get through, but maybe that's when you're only exploring like I usually am. So yeah, I guess it's one of those games you get out of it, what you put in. If you spend ages exploring it, it's going to last ages. You're going to take ages to get through the level. Whereas if you just follow the directions to the exit, you can get through the levels pretty quick. Yeah, so hopefully you found that interesting. I know there's not much there from the electronics point of view and stuff, but it might help you decide whether you want to get the Dreamcast version or the Neo Geo version at some point in the future. yeah, the Dreamcast version is just as good, really. I think the only difference, as far as I've seen, is I can't know which game it is, whether it's Gunlord or Last Hope, but one of them's not got all of the intro. It might be a case of both of them have not got all of the intro, I'm not sure. Can't quite remember, so I'm not sure, someone will comment down below. But the Dreamcast version is very, very good. It's on par, really, you know, gameplay, graphics-wise. It looks just the same, plays just the same. I think the Dreamcast version of Last Hope has got more difficulty levels, as far as I understand. But yeah, they were worth the money. And I think any of the criticism these NG Dev games get is uncalled for, really. I think it's all about price, especially with the Neo Geo version. That's where a lot of the hate comes from. You know, I've seen a lot of people on the Neo Geo forum there kicking off about this game and Last Hope, saying that the NG Dev games are crap and just, you know, the Flash, you know, the sort of things you can produce in Macromedia Flash. I don't buy into that at all. I think they're very good. They stand on their own 2 feet, and I think had these games been around when the Neo Geo was you know, sort of commercially out in arcades and things, they'd have made a killing. These games would have been mega popular, I'm sure. Yeah, but so if you found this video interesting, let me know. I've got a couple more NGDev games which I'll show you if you're interested. I think one's Razion and the other one's Last Hope. I don't think they're going to do a reprint of Neo XYX. I hope they do. Despite the fact it's a Tate game, I will get that if they do a reprint of that. I hope they change their mind. It would be good to allow people perhaps didn't get it on the first sale there, the option to buy it. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Did I just pull those out the wrong way? Yeah, I'll check the video back in a minute. I can't remember whether the charboard went on top or underneath. I think this was the top board, wasn't it? And then the charboard was the underneath board, from looking back at the previous one.